dealing with tidying up the messes of all these so-called transport consultants. If you added them all together, they'd be no good. They're actually a liability to businesses and companies out there, and more importantly, they're an absolute liability to road safety. Some of these absolute clowns that have no experience, no background, no qualification status, and absolutely zero competence are allowed to run through the industry and destroy businesses and companies. And it pisses me off to the highest extent, because I'm the only one then that goes and cleans all these messes up. Good morning! Pop up another quick video. Not sure if I got any footage. I don't think I did get any footage for our YouTubes. May have got something for TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We were in Dublin several times this week. Back up yesterday evening to a client meeting in the afternoon, but to run one of our GB based guys who was over here delivering a bit of training for us and compliance work. The boat was delayed by 5 hours at the start. Now I haven't been chatting to him since, so it could have been delayed even more, but yeah, a bit of havoc here at the moment. Anyways, yeah, so a bit of havoc. And again, the beauty about our Holyhead Transport Hub, which is our designated yard in Mona, just 15 minutes outside of Holyhead, with a lot of phone calls and inquiries from people looking to drop trailers there, avail of our shipping service from the trailers in and out to the port, ship trailers out and bring trailers back in, park them, unhook them, couple up into new drivers being fit to get to 45, get to 24s, take the break overnight, get a shower, refreshed. Also, a number of vehicle inspections taking place on trailers. So it's an absolutely fantastic facility that we have, and a package that we're trying to design specifically for our transport and logistic and 3PL friends. Anyways, so it is now 7:15 in the morning. It is about -1 just at the moment. I'm going to try and show in this part of the video the issues we deal with every single day, I mean every single day, in regard to vehicle inspection, vehicle examination and roadworthiness of vehicles, or should I say unroadworthy vehicles on the road. Now, there's a couple of issues that our guys are dealing with at the moment, and I've just received vehicle inspection reports from some of our vehicle examiners and inspectors in both England and Ireland. Now we have one in Scotland, we have 3 going on in the Midlands of the UK, one near the south of the UK and 2 in the south of Ireland, and it's absolutely diabolical, the maintenance issues that's happening at the moment. Now, we deal with this all the time, and anybody that follows me on the likes of LinkedIn, they know that I put up a rant about this. I do rant about it for a lot, because as a forensic vehicle examiner and collision investigator, I spent most of my life dealing with the aftermath of poorly maintained vehicles. Now, a lot of the content, we won't be showing any content of vehicles obviously for anybody to indicate who they are, but some of these have been where we've been brought in as specialist consultants and specialist examiners on behalf of government bodies to examine vehicles. And the amount of vans and the amount of vehicles up to 7.5 ton, the defects on them are just absolutely mad. Now, I'm not talking about abiding by operator's license and things. I'm talking about in the van world, in any of it, I'm talking about just basic maintenance. And one of the big things that I can't understand, as I was a global fleet director for a long time, I understand the ins and outs of running fleets and maintaining fleets, and the very basics of it is that preventive maintenance is key. Now, it's very easy to use them words, and it's very easy to give out why people aren't getting these vehicles brought in, because the business is trying to make money, and a lot of fleets, believe it or not, don't have spare vehicles or spare capacity. But the defects are unreal. Like defects like tires, wheel studs missing, wheel nuts loose, lights not working, seat belts defective, overweight issues, broken springs, carrier bearings hanging off, the rattling and thumping match of a carrier bearing whilst driving up the road. A deaf man would hear it. So therefore, it just blows my mind why this can't be done. Now, when we analyse, inspect and investigate these, most of the time, the business itself, as in the top table, the senior team, they have no problem spending the money on it. That's not a problem. We then speak to maybe the fleet managers and they have no problem getting the work done, only they're understaffed. Then they sub it out to a third party, and most of the third parties now, and there's no point me slagging them off because they can't get staff either. So they bring in apprentices or they'll bring in just fitters, and it's just not working. So our whole drive for vehicle mechanics and vehicle inspectors, you know, we've been driving at this now for I don't know what, nearly 30 years I've been anyway, and we're struggling to get skilled people in the marketplace, and that's just the truth. That's just the bottom line. Alrighty folks, so this is one of our random fleet inspection management reports that comes back to managers from our guys out on the ground. Now what you'll see here is what I'm trying to demonstrate how poor the roadworthiness has become, and this is really a daily thing. So if you look over onto the third column, we have the total number of trailers and vehicles inspected. This gives you a rough idea over 10 sites. Now if we go over to this section, there's the number of vehicles that had defects on them. So in the first one you'll see there's 41 vehicles or trailers inspected, there was 32 issued defects. The next site there was 23, there was 11 defects, and the next site had 63 vehicles, trailers inspected, there was 49 defects, and so on and so on. You'll see as we go down through the whole list. Now more importantly and more worryingly is that the vehicles or fleets issued with immediate prohibitions. We had the first visit issued with immediate prohibitions, second visit, third site, fourth site, fifth site, and then site number 8, site number 9 and site number 10, all issued with immediate prohibitions. Operator failed to continue to meet the requirements of holding operator's license. So the license was revoked with immediate effect. Now again, this came in from DVSA on the 2nd of October 2023. The question that you have been asking me is about in the event of accidents and incidents, and why you all get so mad at the insurance company. You know, insurance companies, they don't have the capabilities, they don't have the experience, they don't have the expertise in risk management and risk mitigation. But this is why we have to put in control measures such as specific training, tracking systems, remote downloading, camera systems, visual aids, and more importantly, risk management. So we're going to take a quick break here, guys. Have we any questions? Alright folks, gonna pop up another quick video. Stephen Smyth and TCTSgroup.com, TCTS Ireland Compliance Panel Global Software. We've been streaming over a bit of live training here that we're doing, a remote training, so tune in. We're going to take a bit of a break here, but it's very, very interesting, and we're actually being filmed here for YouTube as well. But more importantly is that the issues that you all have with insurance, obviously now that we're involved with insurance brokers, just one for the vlog here maybe, is that the amount of issues with insurance companies is unbelievable. The lack of risk mitigation, risk management, and you know, insurance company is a sales rep, that's it, and that's the way it's always been, and nobody really cares. However, the operator and transport, logistics, 3PL, 4PL, manufacturing companies, you know, they're not getting the right service, and this is why we're making sure to team up with specific insurance brokers, and if they can't deliver, they will be executed like the rest of them, because there's a world of work out there for protection of operators. So the question is, people, do you have risk mitigation in place? Do you have risk management in place?
Whoa, whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come.
You're getting tired holding the camera now? Right, that is all. Right, so that free training session I finished off with a number of clients in GB. So if you've been on any of our remote training courses, especially through your ability, well then you know the sort of depth that we go into and the sort of value that we offer. So let's see what's happening over here. Nicole, what's happening?
Teams planning. So that's what we've got.
What's happening there?
What's not happening?
What's not happening? Good answer. So you're trying to schedule in the work here for...
Lots of remote downloading coming in, training coming up, CCA.
So again, guys, when we say sometimes we're a wee bit slow to get back to people, it's just never ending, and Nicole here as operations coordinator is trying to make sure that this all flows nicely and books into places. One of the big issues that we always have is that we're constantly firefighting, so we'll get DVSA or DVA or RSA roadside stops, we'll get court dates, we'll get prohibitions, we'll get public inquiries, we'll get in-chambers hearings, we'll get all these dates coming in, so it's very hard. If we plan perfectly for 12 months in advance, we have still a mass work that comes in on the top of that, which we have to firefight. So anyway, good enough? Good to go?
Yeah.
Right, guys, let's go. engine could be done, all hydraulics could be repiped. No, you don't know, like, you have to be looking at her. We'll put that in the log maybe. So we're bidding. Alrighty folks, so we're just out on site here in Toonbridge, heading out to a client, but we are currently parked up doing a bit of auction bidding on a couple of specialist trailers. Has it went up yet, Mark?
Yep.
So we're bidding here online, Wilson's Auctions, as we're parked up, but last minute to go, and now the prices kind of went through the roof. How much has it went up since?
4,000 there for total.
So I might just have us bid out. Anyway, we're up here in Toonbridge, client meeting now to go on site regarding tachograph management and health and safety and all the usual. So we'll see if we get a bit of footage on site. This particular client, well, there's usually no problem, he'll allow us to put information up, but we usually forget because we have drivers to deal with, we have infringement issue, and we're doing a bit of management training with their management team on how to manage tachograph compliance. And that's a big thing, guys, is tachograph analysis is more or less a basic bit of software, and the software does what it does. It brings in raw data, analyzes it and puts it out in analysed form, but the real work is the tachograph management, the management of the infringements, the data going in, the data coming out, on account of missing kilometres, driver cars expired, tachograph expired, and what do you do about it? So, go. Right, first visit made. Let's get onto the road for visit number 2. So that is us out from second meeting of the day. We're heading now from the Dungannon area over to our Armagh offices for a quick client meeting regarding operator's licence and a public inquiry coming up. But at this stage, me and Mark's going to have to, we're on the road here and we're going through discussions of times and dates for interviews in Holyhead for our Holyhead Transport Hub based in Mona. So at the moment we have, what's the crack? Give me a rundown of this.
Thursday the 8th, first interview day.
So we're 2 interview days next week, which is Thursday the 8th of February and Friday the 9th of February.
Yep.
Today is what day is today? The 30th of January, so it depends when this vlog comes out. HGV drivers, shunter drivers, we have yard staff, we have admin teams, we have booking agents, we have support staff, we have training staff, we have opportunities for compliance staff, tachograph analysis and tachograph management staff, training staff, driver assessors, an absolute host of job opportunities over in that site. Next week hopefully we'll get a bit of footage of a new site that we are dealing with in Birmingham, which could be a good acquisition for us. We'll get a bit of footage of that for them, won't we?
Yeah.
We'll see, depends how private it is and depends who's going to be bidding on it, so we might put the information up after that, because as you know, when we go to look at this stuff or bid on it, somebody else tries to come in underneath or over as half us. There is, like, cut this stuff.
Yeah, I got you. I got this on camera.
So yeah, on the road, heading through Moy into Armagh, and that's about it. So the daily struggles that we have in business, as with everybody else, you know, me and Mark ourselves especially, as you know, company directors, should not be out on the road every day of the week. However, we do have to go out and deal with high level issues and problems. We do deal with clients directly. We don't hide behind a phone, we don't hide behind emails, we be out on site. And I think that's why we have such a good relationship with a lot of our long-standing clients and customers. And if they have a problem, we have a problem. And that's the way we kind of work our relationship. But lately, you know, we're dealing with HR issues, we're dealing with, I might just do a standalone video on this, where we had a clown of an employee who I took on from a GB company. He wanted to become a software developer. He's basic admin. He definitely didn't have the skills for that in any way, and that's my own fault. But I like giving people a chance because they're interested in that sort of work. But it went through then to a employee tribunal, Is that what it was? What was the name of it? Anyway, whatever it was, we didn't get the information through. They tried to make a judgment to say that they would go in his favour. We're now fighting that to get it overturned because obviously, we agreed on a finishing date. He was paid up to his finishing date, and then he was looking for another week's salary because he thought he should have been paid another week's salary. However, in his whole time with us, he never once covered his salary. He didn't have the skill and ability. And I'm not saying this guy, 100%, real nice fella, and there's no issue that way. But people have to realise when they don't have the skills and ability to do the job, you will get found out very, very quickly. And this is what happened in this case. So I have to take the full brunt of it. I have to take the weight of that because it was myself that authorised his employment. But when we got it all sorted out, what the tribunal is, employee tribunal will come back to me and saying, listen, yes, you're in the right, he's in the wrong, but it's going to take you more money just to come and have a day out and agree that he's wrong. Like, by the time we go there and do all that. However, I do like to fight these things because it's the same as the other issues and videos we put up. We were shafted with a completely incompetent, incapable software company in Belfast. And if you follow our story, you'll know that legal battle's still going on. However, again, that's my fault because they're a website development company only. They are not software developers. And another thing that really pisses me off is that, when you employ the services of somebody, or you take somebody on and they're no good and they're not able to fulfill the role or the requirement, and after you say to people that you're no longer using them or working with them, and then everybody tells you, oh, I could have told you that, they're crap, they don't have the experience, why did you employ them? And you say, well, why didn't you tell me that at the start? Because we've had this conversation. But people don't want to tell you that at the start. It's the same as employees. A lot of us don't look for references, and we don't look into the references, in depth. And the amount of companies that have contacted me for somebody who maybe worked with us, who chances are we've got rid of or we've managed out of the business, they've went for a job somewhere else, they've started in that role, they've said what they can do, but they might have been basic admin support with us, and they're claiming they're a compliance officer or a manager or a health and safety officer or a trainer, and then I'm getting these phone calls saying, can you confirm what this person done because they're not fit to do this role? But there's no point coming to me after the event, and I do the same. I've been guilty of employing people without really looking into their background and their experience. And remember, people have it leaves clues. Their employment leaves clues. And if you look at people jumping from job to job in a very short period in that job, and when you interview them and you find out that their reason for leaving is because the managers were bad or the work was bad, well, if all places you've been have been bad, I think you need to look at yourself, not the employer. Anyway, we're up here back in Armagh now. I'm actually in Armagh Court House here in, when's that? In a couple of weeks time, no, March time, in there for an issue over welding the fabrication of a commercial vehicle. So that'll be another day out in court. So just back in Armagh here, finished off with that client meeting for a new client coming on board for full packages, which is transport compliance, tachograph analysis and management, vehicle fleet inspection, risk management, facilities management, driver training, all types of training, end-to-end solution of training. So yeah, good company to deal with. And again, it's what we offer, end-to-end package. And the beauty is the places in Northern Ireland, the base is in Northern Ireland, place in the south of Ireland, two places south of Ireland, one near, I think it's Cork, the other near Wicklow. Then they have two in GB, and now they're starting about opening a place in the south of France. So we'll be fit to cover that end to end. So long day just down in our foyer. So that television needs to be changed to TCTS Group TV on YouTube. And why people laugh when I say that. Right, upstairs we go.
That's that one done. Time to get back on the road, heading for the meeting, Ballygully, and then straight down to St. Glubbers. Right, boss? Let's go. Alrighty, folks, so it is nearly 11 p.m. on Wednesday night. We're just trying to get out of the office here at the moment. Anyways, we're just absolutely inundated with court files, prosecution files, and we have public inquiries and in-chambers hearings just coming out of our ears at the moment. Number of high-level investigations for transport compliance or violations of transport compliance, operator's licence. And it's the same old crack, you know, as I say, it's nearly 11 o'clock. And a couple of guys away home, I'm still stuck here, and we're dealing with tidying up the messes of all these so-called transport consultants that, if you added them all together, they'd be no good. They're actually a liability to businesses and companies out there, and more importantly, they're an absolute liability to road safety. Some of these absolute clowns that have no experience, no background, no qualification status, and absolutely zero competence are allowed to run through the industry and destroy businesses and companies. And it pisses me off to the highest extent, because I'm the only one then that goes and cleans all these messes up. And it's an absolute disgrace. And, you know, the regulators do know that and understand that, but there has to be a clause put in. There has to be a cut-off point. Some clown who washed a couple of lorries, went into the office and maybe, I don't know, stored a couple of tachographs on a peg, all of a sudden think they're a transport consultant or a professional in this field. Any transport manager can't even do this job. You know what I mean? It's just beyond belief. And who pays for it? The operator pays for it. Yes, they bring in specialist skills like ourselves, but they have to pay for it. They bring in legal representation, they have to pay for it. And they've already paid somebody already. So, anyway, 11 o'clock at night just really completely pisses you off. And then our own business group work just getting, you know, on top all the time. So, anyway, apart from that, time to pack up. I'm also working on training content for high-level tachograph management training and compliance training, risk mitigation, risk management training for 2 insurance companies in England, in GB, and an insurance company here in Northern Ireland. So it's good actually to get that sort of work put back in between each other and get them guys schooled up. Where are we tomorrow morning? So yes, near 11 o'clock, I'm in Dublin Airport tomorrow morning, delivering training to air coach at Dublin Airport. So that's about 2-hour drive away in the morning, and then deliver that all day and 2-hour drive back again. So yeah, we get home, we get a shower, we get a shave, and get maybe 3-4 hours sleep, and then up the road again. All fun. Right, laters. Alrighty folks, good morning. It is 15 minutes past 5 in the AM, and we are our way to Dublin, Dublin Airport, to deliver some management training. So the GoPro's no good in the dark, so we're just going to get on up the road and join us later on. Let's go. Alrighty folks, it is 10 minutes past 7. We are up here at Dublin Airport, ready to go over and deliver some management and supervisor training in regards of driver's hours, tachographs, use of tachographs, bus legislation, and what else? Yeah, so the course is called Less Talk of Tachographs. Just made that up there now. And as usual, it's an absolute nightmare to get parked in it. So we're going to jump out here and go across the road to the facility called Spaces. We're doing this training on behalf of Air Coach, so they have a facility over there that we're going to use today, because we need to also go out and do live practical elements of the training using the bus or coach. So why not do it here? Anyways, let's get packed up and hit the road. Alrighty guys, so we were gonna video the start of this course. It is now turned 5 o'clock. We're up here in Dublin. I don't even know if you can see me or not. And we're just after delivering training to managers and supervisors, including operation and service delivery managers to Air Coach here in Dublin. An absolutely fantastic group of guys today. Very, very interested and very passionate about the job and very, very dedicated to the firm, which we always love teaching and training guys like that. So this is the first stage of it where we do the classroom session with a simulator box as and when required. But more importantly, we got them over to the airport terminal and we done a bit of live training in the bus itself in relation to the tachograph unit, regulations, legislation, tachograph management, procedures, tachograph analysis systems. So yeah, absolutely fantastic bunch. I was gonna try and video the middle of it. Actually, there was such a great crowd of guys, we could have got them on the video, but we just lost the day. We didn't even, look at, we didn't even get eaten much lunch. So yeah, I didn't even get eaten any lunch here with them, but they've been a fantastic group. So anyway guys, tachograph training for managers and supervisors, very, very important part of transport compliance. And as I was saying to the guys, when we do even the likes of OLAT training, operator license awareness training, or even transport management training, the problem is the compliance section of it is very, very poor. So people don't go into in-depth. Like we went into their live data using their live system to identify any issues or any concerns, or how do we rectify it, how do we deal with drivers, how do we put in control measures going forward. And that's what bespoke training is. So when you hear me always banging on about bespoke training, it means it's training that is developed and created around your business needs, around any areas of concern that you have or any issues that you think you may have, and we fix all the problems going forward. So yeah, I think we left office late last night, on the road this morning at 5 a.m. It's now 5 p.m. here in Dublin, and then I'm heading back down the road. I have a client visit in Virginia, outside Calvin, and it's time now to red up this office with this trainer room a wee bit, but the girls here will do all that when we get the paperwork lifted. Right, let's go.
Well, I'm just giving you a quick call to remind you about that Thomas Paddy's operator license.
Oh, why? I think did he not pay it last night?
He did pay, yeah. That's all paid and sorted. That's what I'm saying.
When I get home.
And I'm just, me and Ben's on route home here.
Right. Spot on. Did you get onto the computer or anything for Ben?
Yeah, that IT man was very good.